What's going on, everyone? So the Indiana Pacers are not off to the start that they had hoped, and particularly Tyrese Haliburton. And you're seeing a lot of fans really kind of turn on Tyrese Haliburton. The narrative of Tyrese has not been great. And look, Indiana, this is a team that was just in the conference finals, is looked at and expected to be one of the upper echelon teams, at least in the Eastern Conference. And to start 1-3 out of your first 4 games, and your only win coming from the Detroit Pistons, who haven't beaten anybody and are expected to be the worst team in the NBA, if not least the Eastern Conference, it's not a good start to your season. And their schedule doesn't really get easier. Right? They have the Boston Celtics coming up. Then they play the Pelicans, who they're dealing with injuries and stuff, but they've been off to a solid start. Then you got the Dallas Mavericks. Then you got the Orlando Magic. Then you have the Charlotte Hornets, who, that should be a W. But then you got the Knicks, the Magic, and then the Heat back-to-back again before you play the Raptors, and then the Rockets and the Bucks. I mean, they don't really have a kind of easier stretch until the end of November. I mean, this team could be on the outside looking in rather quickly if things don't progress. Now, you look at, again, the kind of narrative going around with Tyrese Haliburton. First game against Detroit, 1-9 from 3, 6 of 18 overall, 15, 5, and 4, 2 blocks, 3 steals, only 3 turnovers, something you like to see, but not his best performance. So it's like, okay, well, how does he respond? How does he bounce back against the Knicks? Well, with a big old goose egg. 0 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 0 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 7 from 3, only 1 turnover, 1 steal and 0 blocks. But again, just an absolute dud, absolute goose egg. Okay, well, what about the Sixers? All right, let's take a look. That game, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 18, 4 of 9, 1 block, and only 3 turnovers. Now, again, not ideal as far as like him being the playmaker that he's supposed to be, but better shooting, better scoring, kind of more close to what you want to see. Game that ends up going in overtime, you lose to the Sixers. Tough loss, right? It happens, no biggie. Okay, well, what about the Orlando Magic game? Again, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists, 6 of 15 from the floor, 4 of 9 from 3, 1 steal, and only 1 turnover. That's Tyrese Haliburton. Again, it's unfortunate that this team wasn't able to deliver and get the win, but that is closer to resembling what this team needs from Haliburton. I'm not saying he has to average nearly a triple-double, right? He was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double, but he's got to be a guy that can constantly be the engine for this team, as well as be a guy that can consistently put up numbers as far as the points go. I don't think he necessarily needs to be some 25-point-a-game guy. It would be nice if he could be that, ideally, but I think, Pascal Siakam, he's going to be kind of your main scoring option. You need you could use Mathurin if Mathurin can kind of get to being more, because he's shown in the past his ability to just score the basketball, particularly as a scorer off the bench. But I liked the Orlando game much more, right? It was a nice balanced attack. You had 19, again, from Haliburton. You had 26 from Siakam, 13 from Nembhard, 10 from Nesmith. You had 13 from Turner, and then 14 from Toppin, 8 from Jackson, 8 from Shepard, right? Like, you kind of go down the list, and it's like, okay, that is more times than not, you're probably going to win those type of games. Keep turnovers low. Right? You need to make sure you're keeping turnovers low. Free throws really hurt them mightily. They only shot 67% from the foul line, 20 of 30 from the floor. And the reason I'm using the Orlando game so heavily is because this is the game that I think needs to better represent and resemble the Indiana Pacers. Right? Like, shot 13 of 29 from 3, shot 41 of 48 from the field, so 47% total. But you look at the 67% from the foul line, that was the difference. You shoot the free throws better, you make half of the free throws that you missed, guess what? You just won. You just beat the Orlando Magic. So if this team can kind of get back to being that, if they can consistently find their groove and their rhythm, I do believe that they're going to win a lot more games. You're going to have the games where Tyrese Haliburton goes off and gives you, 30 or whatever. Like, that's fine. But, you need Haliburton, in my opinion, to be more, he just needs to be better balanced. He can't be having these just dud offensive games. Bad games happen. That's fine. But you can't be having 3 out of 4 games where you're laying a dud. And then, now you got the game where it's better. No, he's got to be consistent. He's got to be a real driving force and star for this team. This team is very reliant on Haliburton being the best version of himself. And again, this is a team that, should be good. To me, Indiana was the Atlanta Hawks from a couple years ago. Right? I don't think Indiana's going to be that bad to where they're a play-in team and, can't get out of the play-in the next few years. But what I mean in the sense of, you look at Atlanta a couple years ago, they got to the conference finals, but they really, were they really this conference finals team, or was that kind of more of an outlier? In hindsight, it looks more like an outlier. Now, there is the argument that they made the haste move of going and getting DeJounte Murray rather than just kind of staying the course. But I kind of feel that way with Indiana, right? I think Indiana got to the conference finals really on circumstances, in my opinion. I don't believe that they beat the Knicks last playoffs had the Knicks been healthy and not falling apart. It's just my opinion. Indiana fans may feel otherwise. But, where do they rank as far as the Eastern Conference goes? Who would you take them over in the Eastern Conference? Right? I don't think they're better than the Celtics. I don't think they're better than the Knicks. I think a healthy Sixers team, I don't think they're better than. Cavs, the way the Cavs are playing, the Cavs are rolling, and if they're healthy, I think that they can beat them. I know, Indiana, a lot of people think they match up. Well, I think I would take Cleveland in a 7-game series if Cavs are healthy and good. Miami, you can never really rule out Miami. I think Miami would give them a tough time with just their experience and their toughness. Outside of that, then I think you're looking at, the Bucks. I'm not really sold on the Bucks. I actually think Indiana could beat the Bucks. That's just me personally. I think Indiana could give the Bucks some real trouble. I think Siakam and Turner can kind of make things difficult for Giannis. And you kind of just throw different bodies and get different looks. So I think Indiana is top 6, maybe top 5 at best in the Eastern Conference. I don't think they're going to be better than the Magic, Celtics, Knicks, and Sixers if healthy, and the Cavs. So that gives them at least 5 teams that I think that they are not going to be better than this season. I think that the Bucks, the Heat are kind of the teams that they're in the thick of, right? They're in the thick of it with. And so is the Indiana Pacers, are they a play-in team? Right? When you boil it down, can they outpace the Bucks as well as the Miami Heat? Now, they're not that far behind Miami, right? They're only, game and a half behind Miami. And they're right there with the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee, luckily for them, has started terrible, and they've lost to even worse teams. At least Indiana has the benefit of hey, we've had a grueling schedule to start, right? That's kind of your justification. That's your argument. But I do think Indiana, if they say they beat the Celtics, right? I think all of a sudden you start feeling a little more confident. You handle business against the Celtics. You beat a team like that. You hand them your first loss. You're okay, now we are one of those teams. we are that team that can come in and really disrupt and make some noise, right? We know Boston just ran through us in the playoffs, right? Especially if Haliburton can kind of get back to being and kind of give you 2 straight games, give you 2 games in a row, and it's like, okay, there you go, right? Like, I just think, if you're Indiana, you need to kind of build on that foundation. Just one game at a time. Take it a game at a time, game at a time, game at a time. And I do think that you kind of look up and all of a sudden you're the 5th seed or something in the Eastern Conference. And it's like, okay, now you're just trying to maintain, get the dominoes to kind of fall in your favor again. You could potentially be back into the conference finals. And maybe this time it's a little different, right? Get a couple balls to go your way. You look up, you're in the finals. Right? That's the hope for Indiana. But if I'm being honest, I think Indiana, they need another star, as crazy as it's, because Siakam is their best player, right? He's their number one option as far as scoring goes. Haliburton, he's more of a traditional point guard. He's more of the guy, he's more old school than he is that like SGA type guy, right? I think they need somebody that can kind of come in and provide that consistent scoring punch, if you're Indiana. But it's just like, who is that guy? Or can you get somebody like a Mathurin or something to kind of evolve into that guy? I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I'm not super sold on Indiana, if I'm being honest. But things change fast, particularly in the NBA. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Agree with my points? Disagree with my points? Are you kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.